This is the complete quick guide for how to get your first win in Warzone 2 and to improve at playing in Mazrah. In this video, I'm going to talk you through the steps you need to take to get your first win in Warzone 2 and to improve at the game in general. I'm going to cover landing, looting, fighting, rotating, and the final circle, giving you tips to play at all 5 stages of the game. If you find this video helpful at any point, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more. The first stage of the game is landing. Where you choose to land is very important when you are going for that first win, as you want to be aiming for somewhere that's quiet where you can get looted up nice and safely. I definitely recommend landing at the smaller points of interest on the outside of the map, as it's always quieter there than the central areas like Mazrah City, Observatory and Hydroelectric. Some of my favourites are Quarry, Seraph Bay and Tarak Village, but it will depend on the path of the plane. You just want to be aiming to be landing as far away as possible so less enemies will be landing there with you, and you want to make sure that before you jump out you mark a safe crack contract in that area. Once you have landed in your chosen area, then you want to start looting. The safe crack contracts will give you more than $10,000, meaning you can buy both of your weapons straight away from a buy station within just a few minutes of the game starting. Use a vehicle to get to the safes quicker, because the sooner you get to your good weapons, the more protected you are. While you are looting buildings, make sure you look out for the cash machines in shops and places like this, as these have a lot of cash inside of them, which will mean that you can get more cash stored up for when you need items to buy later on in the game. I'd recommend carrying with you at least one extra stack of plates in your backpack, as well as some extra ammo for your weapons and any streaks you might find on the way around. It's also really important that you get a 3-plate vest, so it's essential to have, because if you get into a fight with someone who has purple armor and you don't, you are likely to die a lot faster and it's a lot harder to win those gunfights. Luckily though, you do often get these from the final safe whilst you are doing that contract, so you should have one before you start rotating into the map. Once you're fully looted up, you are ready to fight anyone that you might need to. The aim here is to not go out of your way trying to hunt down as many players as possible. When you are going for your first win, you really want to take it slow and only fight the players that you need to stay alive, and otherwise try and be as quiet as possible. You need to make sure that you've got a really good class setup on you for your custom weapons and that you're using a powerful weapon at the time. This does change quite often as weapons are balanced, so make sure you check out my Warzone best class playlist, which will be linked on screen now and at the end of the video, for the best weapons in the game. And I'd also recommend using an assault rifle with a 4x scope on for kills at further ranges, but to also have an easy to use high damage SMG as your secondary for those close quarter fights. At the moment, the M4 and the Cast-Off 74U are great options, but this will change over time, so make sure you check what the meta is at the time that you are watching this video. Rotating into the next zone is linked with fighting, as most of your fights will come as you are moving out in the open, and this is the most dangerous position to be in when you are going for that first win. One of the reasons I suggested landing at the edge of the map is because keeping you back to the zone is a really useful method of rotating into the center of the map. If you move in close with the zone, then you can be sure the area behind you is clear of enemies, and that's one side that you don't need to worry about. You can just worry about what's in front of you and to both sides. Hopefully you'll have found a gas mask whilst you are looting, so you'll have some time if you do get stuck in the gas. But inside of Warzone 2, the zone does do a lot of damage. You want to make sure you are staying out of it as much as possible. After the first zone move, I'd really recommend staying away from using vehicles, as they make a lot of noise and will attract a lot of attention from the enemies. For the same reason, try and move quietly through doors instead of smashing windows, as the glass does make a lot of sound and it does travel a long way, and someone will probably start hunting you down as soon as they hear that. As you are rotating, keep an eye out for recon drones and bomb drones as you go around, as you are looting in different buildings, because these are really good for checking the area around you to make sure it's safe to move, because UAVs are limited in this game. As you are rotating in later on in the game, the loadout drops will spawn in. If you are only playing for the win, I'd recommend staying away from these, as they will get a lot of enemy attention, and I don't think the perks are worth taking the risk for in this game. You'll already have the 2 weapons that you bought from the buy station, and you should have all the other loot that you need. Getting those perks just isn't worth taking the risk of dying for. Whilst you are rotating in, keep in mind the next piece of cover you are moving to. You really don't want to be moving aimlessly, stuck out in the open. You want to make sure you're always aiming for somewhere that is a good piece of cover. There's loads of good natural cover in this game, like rocks and ditches, so aim to be near one of these, just something you can hide behind when you are moving if someone does start taking shots at you, and start thinking about where the enemy might most likely be coming from if they are trying to kill you, just so you are prepared to take the shots and get the kill on them before they have the chance to fully take you out. Once you're in the final circle, the game changes. You're now the last remaining best players in the lobby, and everyone is playing for the win. Here, playing with a zone to your back is essential, and as the zone is so small, you can easily clear the area around you so that you know you're safe, and then you can be aware of any enemies that are coming into your area, so you can stay protected and kill them before they get to you. In the final zone, you want to stay as quiet as possible and let the enemies do all the killing, so your chance of dying stays low. If you see an enemy that's a really easy kill, then it might be worth going for that kill just so you don't have to fight them later on, but as soon as you've got that kill, move on or find somewhere better to hide, as someone will probably be looking to kill you. As the zone finally shrinks shrinks down, you need to have your route planned out as to where's going to be safe to move to, and be aware of where the enemies might be coming from. Buildings are the most likely areas they'll be hiding in, so watch out for those as the zone pushes the enemies out of the building. Pre-aim the doorway so you can get easy kills on them as they come out before they can kill you, and just try and stay calm because all of the players in that final zone will probably be panicking and they'll be under a lot of pressure to move and to get those final kills to get the win because they've invested a lot of time into this game. So stay calm, play normally, and pick your best chance to get that final kill so you can finally get your first win inside of Warzone 2. If this video has been helpful, then make sure to drop a like, subscribe for more videos just like this one, check out my other videos which are linked on screen now.